Hi, James. We're back. You go for it. I'll shut up. Go.
What a return. What a return to Aftermatch, Aftermath, and what a return to the domestic league. We're back. Liverpool Leeds at Anfield. 4-3 victory. What are you saying?
What am I saying? Wow. What a game. I can remember watching it, and I know some of the commentators were saying, I think they sort of said that on Match of the Day as well, where they thought like it could go down as one of like the greatest like opening games we've had for quite some time. I mean, it was I guess for a neutral it would be absolutely thrilling game to watch, considering, especially since there was no fans. I thought like what a game to watch though, even though like there was a bit of the atmosphere lost because like there was no home fans. But wow, end to end stuff. Leeds levelled 3 times and had everything you wanted, really, and everything we wanted, because it ended in the Liverpool win.
Yeah, I'm not sure it had everything I wanted. I can think of 3 things. I guess that I didn't
everything
want,
like a spectator would want. A Liverpool spectator, less so.
Certainly for a neutral, amazing game, but
yeah,
also pretty impressive from Leeds. To be fair to them, like I don't know. I can't remember what our predictions were from last week, but certainly none of us predicted that.
I know I went. Yeah, none of us predicted that. I know. I went with a 2-1. I don't think any of us got the team right. I think it was close.
Yeah,
but
shall we start with that lineup?
So, yeah, we can start with the lineup. So, I think as we thought, Trent was back. So typical back 4.
Yep.
Including Gomez partnering Van Dijk, but it's good to see that. Good to see Trent back from injury. Good to see Matip on the bench again. So we've got that bit of cover. Midfield, I think, which is what we didn't expect, was Wijnaldum, Henderson, and Keita.
Yeah.
I thought Fabinho was an absolute must start. I mean, I'd always start him every game, to be honest with you. It would be maybe Keita or Wijnaldum. I mean, I thought if Henderson was fit, he'd probably ask to start. But yeah, I absolutely would have started Fabinho.
Yeah, I feel like Fabinho's a must start. I don't really remember, but did he have a particularly bad pre-season or anything?
What did I recall? I mean, I thought like when he came back after the restart last season, he had a few dodgy games. He wasn't seemed to be up to it. But then I thought, as time went on, we would begin to see more and more of before his injury. Pretty much like maybe this time leading up to his injury last time, because I think he got injured. Maybe was it around November? I could have had that. I could have that completely wrong, but I know he seemed to have a flying start to the season and got injured a couple of months in, I think.
Yeah, I think to me he's always been one of them players that has taken a few games to get going. I feel like when you give him a rest, it's counterproductive. So I don't know what the thinking is there really.
Yeah, because I thought there's no midweek game. I think it's just Chelsea. So I thought, I mean, there's no. I mean, it's like
unless it was a bit of an oversight, and it's like they wanted to save him for Chelsea, and this was just Leeds, which turned out to not be the case. I don't know.
Just Leeds. And then we've had, and then typical, I mean, I think as expected, normal front 3. I mean, I think we were sort of hoping, I think in time we'll see Minamino come into the starting 11 more. We're probably going to see, I mean, I don't know how things are looking, but Shaqiri seems to be, I mean, he seems to have a lot of attention on him in training and stuff. And there don't seem to be any rumblings that I've seen about him. So
Shaq wasn't even on the bench, was he?
I don't think so, no.
Matip, Fabinho, Milner, Curtis Jones, who we'll come to, Minamino and Origi, so no, wasn't even on the bench.
I mean, I feel like, well, I'm sure we'll come to it. I mean, if he stays, I'd like to see him get more game time because he's a good player when he's fit. Yeah. So I was okay with things there. With the line, bit surprised about Fabinho, but otherwise it was okay. So I'm trying to think what time it was. So it was a sort of typical start, and before you knew it, I think it was Salah had a shot,
yep,
and it hit an outstretched arm, and it was a penalty like a couple of minutes in. Not quite as quick as the penalty against Spurs in the Champions League final, but it was still a pretty quick penalty.
4 minutes.
It'll probably be one of the earliest penalties this season, and I mean, unless I've missed something and there's already been an early penalty, I feel like that will probably stand for some time.
Yeah,
as the earliest penalty given. But I mean,
just on the penalty itself,
no complaints.
Do you think it was a penalty?
Yeah, I mean, I was actually surprised when I think one of the commentators, I think one of the highlight videos I saw of it, was quite surprised. But then when I watched Match of the Day, and I think when I watched maybe Sky's highlights of it as well, they seem to think, yeah, absolutely. I think Alan Shearer said on Match of the Day, no complaints. I mean, I thought it was a shot. I feel like there was enough distance, and his arm was in an unnatural position. It was outright, and it hit like near the end, like his hand end of the arm. So I thought, if it was at his side, fair enough. Like, I can understand. There's nothing you can do about it. But I thought if you got an outstretched arm and it hits near your hand, then like near your shoulder, I feel like you really can't complain. That's going to be given.
Yeah, I think it's just one of them where it's like the rules are ruling it. Like, obviously it wasn't an intentional handball, but at the same time,
no,
it's just
I think it's arm in unnatural position.
Yeah,
not point blank range. But yeah, it's one of them. So a complaint, and then Salah did his typical, like, basically from the halfway line run up. It absolutely levered it. I think it was it straight down the middle and half, the first one.
First one, yeah.
But it was fine. I'm becoming a bit more confident watching Salah take penalties.
Yeah,
I think a bit nervous. But
I don't know, but I feel like I want to say just let him take them from now on. I mean, I'm not sure how many minutes Milner's going to get this season, to be honest. Anyway, but
yeah, he's not. Yeah, to be able to take. I mean, I guess Salah is the number one penalty taker in effect.
Yeah,
I'd potentially say if they were both on the pitch, Milner might take it, depending on how things are going. But
yeah, it certainly helped with his confidence anyway, because as we say, that was 4 minutes in, and then he was on fire for the rest of the game.
I mean, well, like what followed was incredible. That was like a hell of a game from Salah, but I'm sure we'll come to it.
But what immediately followed came in the 12th minute. I believe it was Jack Harrison. And this one was the one where, not for the first time either, Trent was caught out. It was that classic high line from Liverpool again. Trent got caught out a few times throughout the game. But also, the fullbacks were oddly deeper than the centre-backs. So Trent getting caught out was literally the last line of defence. And then Gomez did a bit of tracking back to try and stop it, but didn't really amount to much. And he had himself a little one-on-one with Alisson, put it away.
Yeah, it was. I think we both said Trent got absolutely done in there. He was absolutely sold. He committed himself, and he basically just ran past in the end because I think he committed to the tackle going one way. Was it Harrison just went the other way? Gomez came in to try and cover far too late and effectively did nothing. He just sort of like whizzed past, like just like when you drive and you just see like a bird just casually like fly over the street. You're like, hey. No, he's gone. Yeah. I was just like, great. Cheers, Gomez. Thanks for that. There, did absolutely nothing to help Trent there. Had a bit of a bad day, but yeah. So as soon as that happened, I thought, to be fair, that's probably what I was expecting from this game. I didn't think Liverpool were going to keep a clean sheet. I thought they would be a bit all over the place, and yeah. So I mean, it was a surprise. I mean, I wasn't well. Maybe a bit of a shock to Liverpool. It wasn't particularly a shock to me because, yeah, as I said, you could sort of see it coming because Trent looked a bit shaky down that side.
Yeah. I think it was just a quick turnaround as well. It was a bit of a shock to them. Sort of like 1 minute you're celebrating and the next minute it's like, oh, here we go. But I was hoping, like, I think I said to you, hopefully that's just a bit of a wake-up call for them now, because the defence had been a little weak anyway. And it was like, well, hopefully that's a wake-up call. You know, you can't just lie down. It's not just Leeds or whatever. Let's take it seriously now.
Yeah, had been a bit of a worry in, I guess, near the end of last season and pre-season and in the Charity Shield, the defence.
Well, the other thing is as well,
I was saying this...
Like, this is the first time for a long time we've seen Liverpool playing a game where like it actually matters. Do you know what I mean? Like the league was done and dusted really for a long time. We were so far ahead.
Yeah.
Like I feel like this is the first time where it's like, all right, this game actually matters now. Like, you're playing for 3 points.
And we had pre-season and we had the Charity Shield, which granted I would have wanted to have won, but it's like, as sort of like Klopp said and the player said, it's effectively a bit of a glorified friendly, so it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Said it would have been nice to have won it. I would have gladly accepted them winning it, but you could tell in that game they weren't overly fussed about it. But yeah, as I was saying to, I don't know who I was saying it to, but if I once heard that if you're not playing 100%, if the team across the board is not playing 100%, if a forward makes a mistake, the goalkeeper's either going to catch it or it's going to be a goal kick. If a midfielder makes a mistake, it might lead to the other team attacking. If a defender or a goalkeeper make a mistake, if they're not at 100%, chances are it's leading to a very good chance of a goal. So I feel like, I don't know whether it was, I mean, I feel like for most part, with the maybe exception of Salah, I feel like across the board, the whole team wasn't particularly at the races, with the exception of Salah.
Yeah, well, I feel like...
but the thing is, unfortunately, it shows more because...
I thought Robbo had an alright game.
Yeah, very true.
I don't think he did anything wrong anyway. At least out of the back four.
I mean, he was definitely the best of the defenders.
Yeah, he's the only one that can walk away with his reputation intact.
Yeah, because it was quite sloppy, and it's been a little bit sloppy from them, so they really need to get that. Because there was times last season where, like, they were so switched on defensively, and they were just, like, compact unit. You saw a solid effort from the midfield, protecting them, which makes me suggest, I mean, the way the defence might not be too full of confidence after that game. I said especially was it Gomez, Van Dijk and Trent. So I'm thinking potentially the next game against Chelsea. Oh God, we might see. I would fully expect to see Fabinho playing,
potentially
to
even
give those centre backs some cover.
Maybe Matip.
Matip for Gomez, potentially.
Yeah, I feel like
wasn't great.
It might be. I don't know if you remember when sort of Matip sort of stole the number one spot off Gomez for a while, like in that Van Dijk partnership, and then Gomez sort of come back stronger and reclaimed it. I don't know whether Gomez maybe he just needs that little bit of competition. Like, might be a kick up the arse.
He is still young.
Yeah, no, he is absolutely.
He has still got stuff to learn, but yeah, could see Matip come back into it. I'd like to see Fabinho in front of them, protecting them next game.
Yeah.
And maybe, if Henderson's fit, maybe have him on the right to give Trent a bit of cover. Right of the midfield, free. I feel like that might be the way to go, just to try and see things out. But yeah, so that happened. They equalised.
Back up the other end.
And then blinking you'll miss it. Sort of like a corner came in, and we were all baffled by this one.
Yeah.
Van Dijk got on the end of it. The goalkeeper sort of caught it, but somehow it's like he was like force pushed by nothing. It's like the impact of the ball hitting him sent him like tumbling backwards into the goal, and that was it. And it was just like, oh, okay.
I feel like even the guy, whoever it is that pushes the buttons, I think even he missed it, because it was like a while before the cheers came in, you know, like the crowd cheers. There was just like dead silence. The keeper's just sat in the back of his net with the ball, and then all of a sudden it was like, yes!
I was like, yeah, he was sort of like, oh, he's caught it, and then just looked at it again. He saw keeper, ball, behind line, in goal. I was just like, wait a minute. So yeah, unfortunately, yeah, it was. I mean, I guess it was. I wouldn't say it was a good goal, but I mean, he was there. He won the header.
Yeah, it was shocking, like defensively from Leeds, and like he was completely wide open. Like they just left it for him almost. It was basically a free header for Van Dijk, and luckily, despite the fact he planted it right in the keeper's arms, somehow it still went in. So,
and then maybe thought that might have. Maybe settled things down again, gave Van Dijk a bit of confidence. Maybe it gave him too much confidence because, again, blinking you'll miss it, 10 minutes later, ball, I think it was a long ball played in. It was coming down to Van Dijk, who had a relatively straightforward routine job of clearing it. And I think maybe, was it overconfidence? I don't particularly think it was a missed kick. He didn't like...
Jamie Carragher described it as arrogant. He just didn't... Which I feel is probably accurate.
It was a bit too calm, as you like.
Yeah.
It was just sort of like, he just sort of, I think, got his right foot to it and gave it just thought, if I just get my foot on it, it'll go out to the side. Didn't get anywhere near enough on it or clear it anywhere near well enough. Like, if that was Carragher, it would have been in the stands.
Yeah.
Which I was always fine with when Carragher played back in the day. And it just sort of just gave a nice little straightforward pass to Bamford, and then, I think he had a great season for Leeds last year, from what I can recall. And
fairly easy finish for him as well. There was a bit of a miscommunication with Alisson and Van Dijk as well, because Alisson had come out to collect it. Van Dijk did his little sort of nonchalant flick into the path of Bamford, and then it was just an easy finish.
Yeah, so unbelievable stuff. And so then it was at half an hour played, 2-2, and then literally before you could even basically go to get yourself a cup of tea, up comes the man of the hour again. I think it was a
cross in from Robbo.
Was it a corner or was it a free kick?
It
was a free kick.
It was a free kick, yeah.
I think it was a free kick. I think it was a free kick. Robbo comes it in. It's sort of half sort of cleared, I think, by Leeds. Loose ball comes out to Salah, I think, on the right of the box. Lovely first touch with his right foot to put a bit of control on it, and then absolutely smashes it into the top right-hand corner.
Yeah,
with his left foot. Absolutely incredible goal by Salah.
Yeah.
It was insane. But
goal of the game, aren't they?
Wow, what a goal!
What a hero! What a man!
Yeah, I feel like that's probably going to be up there for goal of the month. I know nowhere near goal of the season territory, but I feel like it'll certainly be worth a mention as
goal of the season so far.
It is goal of the season so far, most likely. I've not seen every goal scored, but yeah, probably so far. Wow, so it was 3-2, and absolutely it was insane what was going on at this point. I was having flashbacks to the Everton game, which I think was that finished 5-2. It was just end to end, and it was just insane what was going on.
I literally said as well, because it wasn't long till half time then, and I said, come out second half, big second half, finish 5-2, comfortable win, that'll do me. Didn't quite go that way, but
yeah, I'm trying to think. So I'm trying to think when it was, because I know there was a disallowed goal I wanted to mention, but I think that was later on.
What
second
one?
Half
For Liverpool or Leeds? Because there's a couple of disallowed goals.
Well, yeah. I guess I wanted to mention both. One where it was actually no, it was later on, because Curtis was alleged to have fouled someone, which I was furious over.
Yeah.
Right, so I think there was no changes at half time, from what I can recall. And game started up again. I think, for what I call, Liverpool seemed okay for a time. They seemed to have a bit more control, a bit more composure. The game had slowed down a little bit. They were having a bit more time on the ball, from what I can recall. Liverpool. Then, was it 58th minute? Trent was a lucky boy.
Yeah. I'm not even sure
summed up his afternoon in a way. No,
I don't believe he'd seen the flag. I feel like, as far as he was concerned, that was an attempt at a clearance.
Well, I could say, so basically 58th minute, Fabinho comes on for Keita, which to be fair, I probably would have put him on sooner myself. I probably would have put him on at half time to try and 3-2 up. I would have thought, get him on, get someone who can help steady the ship and help see this out and get things under control a bit. But
with Keita coming off, what did you actually think of his performance? Because I feel like Keita, for me, along with Firmino has been one of the standouts, like in pre-season in terms of performances, but in this game, I feel like he was lost a bit.
I'll put it this way. I mean, I fully agree. I feel like in the end of last season, going into pre-season, I felt like we were seeing like what Liverpool paid like 50 million for him.
Yep.
For, because he was incredible. He was looking really, really quick. His link-up play was excellent. He was looking a proper class player, and like Minamino in pre-season is hopefully the Minamino we're going to start seeing in this in the proper season soon. I'll put it this way: when the substitution was made, I was actually like, oh yeah, he was on the pitch, wasn't he? That was my reaction. So that, I guess that sums up what I felt about him. I felt like he was literally like non-present for most of the game, because I completely forgot he was there. So again, another high line by Liverpool, and I don't get this at all, why they keep... I mean, I know it's how they play, but like, especially you're winning 3-2, you want to try and get control of the game. Why do you want to play such a high line to risk getting caught out when you're winning? I don't know. And so they were playing... So it was to be fair, it was a lovely ball through, and then he basically found himself... who was it? Harrison, I think, who scored earlier.
Yep.
1-on-1 with Allison, tried to lob him. Trent comes in. At this point, the flag hadn't gone up and the whistle hadn't gone.
No,
Trent comes in and gets his head on the ball and just heads it into his own goal. So I was sat there going, just like, I was like, if this isn't offside, I was just like, I was livid. I thought, right, if this isn't offside, I was looking at that point to see if Williams was on the bench, because I thought that I just get him off. I've had enough. To the naughty step with you. But thankfully it was. I mean, it was a close offside, but you couldn't argue with it. It was categorically, clearly offside.
It was, but I don't believe Trent knew that.
Yeah, but in that situation, regardless, he didn't know. No one had bleed for anything yet. And even if he already knew, on the off chance, you cannot, you have to head that out.
Play
you
for
can
the
get your
whistle,
head on it. Yeah. So that was, who knows what the hell he was doing. I think, I said it was probably one of Trent's worst games in a Liverpool shirt for some time.
Yes. It was defensively one of the worst Liverpool games for some time.
Yeah.
It reminded me of, like early Klopp days, like pre-Van Dijk, when it was literally a case of like, we knew, it was like the Karius days, like we knew we were weak at the back, and it was like we were winning games by scoring more than the opposition, and like it's literally what that game was. It was like, we'll score one more on them, and that's how we'll get past this. It just felt, it was shocking.
So then it seemed odd, as I said, like things seemed a little bit ropey, and I think I was saying I thought, oh my word, like we really, really need to try and get a grip here, because I was sat there thinking, might need to get Milner on as well here and try to shore things up, level head,
I mean,
try to see this out.
Certainly time to make a change and see if we can switch something to, as you say, see this game out. Which, Klopp did make a change. He did make a change. And again, like, I don't want this to sound like me versus the person that came on. However, in this game, winning 3-2, a bit under pressure, needing to see a game out, a time where you need to bring on experience, I feel like let's send on one of the youngest people on the bench, and Curtis Jones, who, again, he's a talent. He's certainly one for the future. He's going to be playing more and more. He's going to get more game time. I think he's going to be a class player for Liverpool. So no issues with Curtis Jones whatsoever. But in this time and moment, that was absolutely not the substitution to make. And I was like, instead of Milner, you've sent on the kid half his age to try and help see the game out. I was just like, nah. It sort of reminded me of, like, I mean, I can't... of like bringing Brewster on in the in the Charity Shield. Like it was like high risk, high reward.
That's exactly
like,
what I had flashbacks for.
Like I could save the day here and he'd be a hero, or you know, you could really knock his confidence if he is the reason that Leeds get one over on Liverpool in the opening game. Like I don't know, it definitely wasn't the right call. It's not what I would have done as well. With a fairly strong bench there as well.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he was stuck for choices.
There was a lot of options. Yeah, there was a lot of options, and I feel like that was absolutely not. And granted, I can't blame Curtis for what happened within a minute of him coming on, but I felt like it sort of epitomises our point of why did you make that substitution? Because then immediately, granted, I would say watching it back, it was Jones that lost the ball initially in the build-up to the goal, to Leeds' third goal, and I felt like had Henderson been on that ball, had Henderson still been on the pitch, or maybe had Milner been on that ball, it probably wouldn't have happened. I mean, it could have, but again, it was the sort of highlights inexperience and maybe the wrong decision this time. To be fair, it was a good goal, but as I said, so Leeds won the ball back off Curtis. I think played it down the right, whipped in a very nice ball to, was it? I don't have to say his name. Was it Click?
I think it's Click.
Click. And then to be fair to him, it was a nice finish. Good goal, very nice pass into him.
I feel like it was a bit weak from Alisson though. To be honest, I feel like he could have got there.
Oh yeah, I mean that was just what I was coming to. Like my only fault, because I mean I feel like they played a good ball in. Maybe defence could have done better, but what I would say is Alisson didn't face many shots this game, and he pretty much let out all of them in.
Yep.
And I felt like he really could have done better with this one. So I don't think he'll be happy with himself at all with the goals he conceded. Like this one, I feel like he could have done better. And yeah, so 66 minutes, just took off the captain, and and yeah, it's 3-3 against newly promoted Leeds at home, first game of the season. So it's all looking good. So I'm just trying to think. Right, I'm trying to think. So I'm just trying to find the moment that I wanted to talk about.
Is this the Van Dijk?
Here it is. Right. Yeah. 79 minutes. I feel like it was maybe like another corner. The ball falls to Van Dijk, and he just he gets control and he absolutely smashes it in. And then the ref blows for a foul, and everyone's like, Van Dijk was livid, and I was watching and what was the foul? And I saw a replay back, and I go, Phil, what's the foul? The Leeds players fell over. What's the foul? And then apparently it was for Jones. Was it obstructing a Leeds player? And I mean, I don't know what you think, James, but I've seen it back a couple of times, and I feel like the Leeds defender goes down so over the top and dramatically. Yep. Curtis hardly did a thing to him, and I was just like, "There's no way."
Yeah, I didn't agree with it. I thought, to be honest, that once it went to 3-3, Leeds, there was so much time wasting tactics, and they were going on the floor far too easy, staying on the floor, and that was, for me, I thought that was a goal. I was celebrating, and then I heard the whistle, and then I was just like, what happened? And watching the replays back, I don't agree with it. My dad was like, oh yeah, it's a foul, fair play and that, but I don't agree. I don't think it was. It was the slightest of touches, and straight to the floor.
That's typical defender, attacker, hustle and bustle.
Yeah.
Corners coming in. I feel like there was no clear obstruction, and he barely put a hand on him. But
I also don't really feel like it would have done much to, it didn't really obstruct the goal in any way.
No.
I don't know. I wrong call for me. If that had have been the reason it ended 3-3, I would have been livid. Put it that way.
I would have been especially livid that it was Curtis Jones.
Well, yeah.
Who I'll say, I don't think he was at fault, but if he was,
then it's a Brewster moment, isn't it?
There, I know I'm sat there going, great. You've sent this person on to somehow help the game. As soon as he came on, it went to 3-3, and now because of his foul, it's cost us going to 4-3 up. Just great. So, yeah. A bit cagey, a bit stressed. I was thinking, I really don't want this to finish 3-3, but I thought in the grand scheme of things, I'd rather it finish 3-3 than to Leeds win. If Leeds win, I'll just...
Yeah. I feel like we'd never heard the end of either,
then,
though, to be honest. Even if they held us, like 3-3 at Anfield, opening day as well. Against, essentially, on paper, it's like the best team versus newly promoted team. It's a bit embarrassing.
I mean, I will say, I know I mentioned it earlier, based off how they played in this game, Leeds played without fear. I feel like credit to them. I feel like they're going to be a very, very entertaining team to watch. I didn't like the time wasting. I felt they were playing. I feel like they were playing quite dirty at times. I didn't particularly like how they played at times. I mean, I like their intent. I like that they kept that they came to just absolutely go for it, which all credit to them. I feel like it's going to do them well. I feel like on occasion too, it's probably going to lead to them getting absolutely battered. So I think Leeds will probably do well. I feel like the way they played today, if they play that all season, they'll probably get a few like 5-0s put past them. But otherwise, I feel like they'll certainly win enough games and get enough points to stay up. I feel if they keep playing like that. Yeah, be a very entertaining team to watch anyway.
Yeah, I mean, if that was
87th minute, go on.
I was just gonna say, if that was any other team other than Liverpool we were watching, then yeah, very entertaining game. Wouldn't like to see that again though.
No. But then I feel like Liverpool, I feel like last 10 minutes got started to put a bit more pressure on.
Well, there was
on them.
There was a solid chance for Firmino at one point, which he sort of just flicked away. I don't even remember it, but it was essentially one-on-one with the keeper, and he just flicked it away. I don't know. To be honest, like, I don't know what your opinion is, but I feel like Firmino needs to step it up a little bit. Like, I don't think there's enough. Like, I know that his role isn't necessarily scoring goals for Liverpool, but I think everyone's in agreement he didn't really score enough goals last season. He had that, like, poor record at Anfield last season, and I feel like he got a couple of goals pre-season, and it was kind of like, okay, maybe we're about to see like the old form return. But this was definitely a poor game for him. I feel like didn't see him at all in the game, and then he had that one opportunity, which was a clear opportunity. You'd expect like a striker in a top team to put that away, and he didn't, especially given that it was 3-3 at the time as well. It was like, we need this to win, essentially, late in the game, 3-3. He's granted that opportunity, which again, and I feel like came from Salah.
He's got
again.
The experience. He's got the skill.
Salah,
it's just like he knows how much that could mean. I mean, I fully expected a player with Bobby's skill and experience should have easily placed that and had finished that off.
I would hope, like, obviously Taki's had great form in pre-season. Hopefully we start seeing some rotation with them too, because I think not only do I want to see Taki play more, but also Firmino might be time to, make him realise his position's not guaranteed, and he needs to step it up just a little bit. I want to see more goals from him.
Absolutely. But it was a bit of good news. So in the box, our man Fabinho, who I wanted to come on much earlier, ball falls to him, he gets his foot to it, I think, just about to run onto it, and then Leeds player, I don't know which Leeds player it was, Rodrigo, there we go, found it, sort of like outstretched leg and clips him. I feel like there's no complaint to me. Like, I saw it and think, yeah, to be fair, if you stick your leg out of that and catch the player and you don't get any of the ball was well past him. I thought there's no argument there.
Yeah, I do think it wasn't intentionally, but you could see he was trying to pull out of it a little bit towards the end, but clear penalty. And then up steps our man Mo.
Up steps Mo again. It was pressure moment, but I felt like I was quite happy watching him step up. I was having there was no doubt in my mind with this one. I felt like he's got this. I felt the way Salah played this game, I thought there's no chance he's missing this. So
Yeah, he was a one-man army for much of the game. It was this. He did his signature little run-up, if you can call it a run-up. swing around to the side, and yeah. What we feeling? Worry? I know you don't like it. You're not a big fan.
I don't like it, but I felt like the more I've seen it, I felt like I'd be worried if Salah hadn't played the way he had this game. I'd be more worried. But the way, like, I felt like it was absolute, like, for me, like a 10 out of 10 performance from Salah this game. So I felt like he's got this.
What is it you don't like about it? Is it just the time it takes and the tension builds up, or?
Well, it's sort of like whenever you see Milner take a penalty, or whether you see Gerrard, they have a bit of a run up. It's sort of like calm, and you know they're gonna place it well. Like typically, like Milner doesn't tend to smash it. He knows where he's aiming it, and granted, he doesn't like tap it, but he hits it with enough. Like Milner and Gerrard, they used to be a combination of sort of like power and precision. But with Salah, with that sort of run up, it feels like for me it's more like a 80% power, 20% placement split because of how much of a run up. So I'm a bit like, oh god, I was just like, because I feel like I'm just going to see Salah do that one day and see the penalty like end up in the stands.
There's definitely an emphasis on power with Salah's penalties. Like, I always feel like with his though, I mean, as long as it's on target, it's going in. It's one of them where, like, even if the keeper got a hand to it, that's going in. Like, the power he hits them with, the noise it makes.
Yeah. It is very true. It's a matter of, if he's getting this on target, it's going in. That's fine. So 4-3, 88th minute. What a surprise that one is. Liverpool scoring a late winner.
And then it's just a case of see it out.
See it out. I mean, granted, those 4 minutes of extra time felt like an eternity to me watching it. I was just like, come on.
Although,
are we done yet?
89th minute, Trent came off in favour of Joel Matip, which obviously was just to shore up the defence there. But I think also a very good call, because Trent was at fault for much of our defensive lapses throughout the game. We were in a position where it was like, see it out. If Leeds had managed to claw on back there, it was going to win 4-4, no doubt about it. So that was the right call. The Curtis Jones one, not so sure about it, but that was certainly the call to make there.
Absolutely, and good to see him back on the pitch.
Yep, and he got us across the line, so.
Very good. Very good indeed. Felt like, well, may as well get this one out of the way. Very, very, very easy choice with man of the match today.
Yeah. I don't think there'll be any arguments.
Of course, it's Mo. Would I have a backup man of the match?
I think it'd be a tough one, because there was a lot of bad performances.
Yeah. I would probably say, and it sort of echoes what you said earlier, I guess my, like, nowhere in contention for man of the match, because but if Salah wasn't playing, I'd probably have to give it to Robbo, because I do feel like he was the most consistent defender. He did look threatening. I couldn't fault him. I feel like he did his job well. I think he got at least one assist for one of the goals.
Did he?
I'm trying to think which. I think he took the corner that Van Dijk.
Oh yeah, of course he did. Yep.
So and I felt like he wasn't really at fault. I felt like he offered well going forward, and was miles ahead of Trent, how Trent played, so I would have probably gave it to him if not.
Yeah, but it was Mo, and also I've got down here, there's a couple of records that Mo broke in that game. So
a lot along with the net.
Yeah, so he's now on 50 goals in 63 home league games, which apparently only Alan Shearer did faster. So not a broken record there, but still a very good record. He is, however, the only player to score in 4 successive opening league games. So, and tying in with that as well, Liverpool have won 35 consecutive league games in which Mo has scored, overtaking the previous record holder, which was Wayne Rooney, on 34 for Manchester United. So the signs there are that if Mo scores, we're winning the game.
I'm just having a look through some of the stats myself. Did you see? Yeah, I heard about that. I think it was I think I heard before yesterday the only player to have scored in 4 consecutive home games was Sheringham. Did you say that?
The only player to before yesterday.
I think so. I think that's what I heard. I don't know if that's true. Yeah, in 4 consecutive home games.
Yeah, I don't know. I had down that Salah was the only player to score in 4 consecutive opening league games. But maybe.
I don't know. I don't know if maybe that was for just for Liverpool. I don't know.
Oh,
either
yeah,
way,
could have been.
It's something. It's something. Says here that he was the first player to score a hat-trick on match day 1 in the season since John Aldridge did it in 1989. I can't believe it's been that long. I cannot believe it. But wow. One thing I did want to mention, which I think which came to earlier with Alisson. Looking at the match stats, Leeds did have 3 attempts on target.
Yep.
So every attempt on target went in. So
also
like to see that improved a bit for next time, please.
Possession 51% for Leeds. So I mean, I don't know off the top of my head, but it's been a long time. I feel like since we've seen someone come to Anfield and maintain the most possession throughout the game. And then when you look at shots, Leeds had 6 shots total, 3 on target, compared to 22 shots for Liverpool, only 6 on target, which is a bit of a poor day at the office there.
Not great.
Quite equal, like stats wise, quite equal across the board though. Like possession, 51-48, and then touches and passes all fairly equal. So like Leeds certainly came and put up a fight. I don't know. I feel like it's a bit of both, like solid performance from Leeds, but also there's no denying that defensively we were just a shambles.
Yeah. I just wanted to quickly run through what the player ratings were for what I saw through, which I largely agreed with.
Particularly bad.
Alisson was given a 5. I felt like it was a bad day at the office. I mean, he didn't make necessarily a mistake as such. He just wasn't good enough for any of the shots. It was a bad day for him, letting every shot that he faced. So I felt like he could have done better. Trent also got a 5. Again, was completely done in for, I think, was it the first goal, and was sort of, and it wasn't, and it happened a few times. He was caught out. He just wasn't.
I was going to say, just bad all game.
Wasn't particularly a threat going forward.
I don't know whether though it might be
really
worth
shaky defensively.
Same with Trent. Obviously, he wasn't involved in any of the pre-season because he stayed at home, didn't he? Didn't go away with them. I don't know. Maybe he's just a bit rusty. But then you think they'd know that. Like maybe it wasn't the wisest decision to start him. I don't know. Certainly wasn't a good game for him.
And then and he had that dodgy header that he just about got away with not being an own goal. Gomez got a 6 again. I didn't think he was great. I didn't think he offered much defensive cover at times. Certainly didn't help with the first goal when Trent had issues, and he was okay, Gomez, but he was far from great. Then we come onto Virgil, who got a pretty damning score of 4 despite actually scoring a goal. And I feel like actually scoring a second goal, which...
Yeah. Carry on.
Good to know. He got a 4 despite scoring, and also what I felt like having a goal quite harshly ruled out for. But his poor clearance, which I mean, it was just a shocking moment for him. It's very uncharacteristic, and that was a bad. I mean, that was the type of thing I'd expect probably Lovren to have done.
Yeah.
So no, not a good day. Andy Robertson was given a 7. Sort of like what I said earlier. I feel like he's one of Liverpool's better players apart from Salah. I feel like he got his assist with a corner. I feel like he did his job defensively. He wasn't really at fault for any of the goals.
Also, the free kick.
Well,
like Salah's phenomenal goal came from him. So like, I think he had a solid game. Nothing particularly stand out about it, but at the same time, When you're looking at the back four, I said earlier, he's the only one I feel like that can walk away from that game with his reputation intact, including Alisson in that as well, because he did not have a good game either.
Yeah. Wijnaldum, he was given a 6. I felt like I saw him on occasion, felt like he could have done better. He had a few decent chances where the ball was played to him, and he had a few shots where it wasn't quite just well placed enough. He was all right, but yeah, as I said, he had a few chances. I sort of expect a bit better from him. Do hope his contract situation is resolved soon. Don't know what's going on there. I mean, I'd very much like him to stay. I mean, I'd quite like to have him and Thiago, to be honest with you, but guess we'll see what happens. It's just rumours and whisperings at the moment as to what's going on, but I believe the last thing I heard was Klopp had a decent talk with him, and there seems to be quite hopeful of him either settling and getting a new contract sorted, or at least seeing the season out. Which is,
I think it'll certainly come down to his decision. Maybe he wants to go, then he will. Essentially, I don't even know if he's been offered anything from Barcelona, or if that is just hearsay. But I think that's what it's going to come down to, whether or not he wants to be. I don't trust the media around them at all. Whenever a Liverpool player is linked with Barcelona, it's like all of the press and all the stories always comes out of Spain. I feel like they're just there just to stir up these stories. Yeah, I mean, especially now as well.
I feel like sometimes it's a case of if somehow enough stories come out, it sort of puts it in effect in a way. It's just like, maybe if we create enough stories, it will put enough question marks in his mind over what's going on, and maybe, but who knows. Right, Henderson, again, glad to see the captain back from injury. He was all right. Might have been a bit too soon for him to come back into it. Maybe wasn't his best. He said it was an all right performance by him, but yeah, he was probably could probably tell he was just back from injury. Didn't look at his best. Didn't look particularly the fittest he's been, but good to see him back. But I know he's capable of much more, and I'm sure we'll see it. Keita got given a 4, which sort of sums up the fact that I didn't even know he was on the pitch by the time he was substituted. Didn't see him. He didn't seem to be present really.
He just wasn't in the game.
Any of the link up in any of the goals. Just wasn't involved. I don't know what happened to him. Very uncharacteristic. I expect much more from him. Salah was given an 8. I felt like potentially he could have been given a 9.
Yeah, I'd probably give him a 9, to be honest.
He was incredible. I said he got 2 well taken penalties, a phenomenal goal, and I feel like it was head and shoulders above the rest of the Liverpool team.
Yeah, I think I said to you the fact that he got a hat trick opening day, but 2 of them were penalties. I don't think scoring 2 penalties tells the whole story there. I feel like he was on fire for the whole game. He was creating everything. He give Mane a chance on a plate which he didn't put away. He give Firmino a chance on a plate which he didn't put away. I think he was everywhere. Without Mo, we weren't even winning that game. Forget about 3-3 or whatever. Leeds would have had us if it wasn't for Mo. So yeah, absolute hero in my opinion.
Bobby Firmino given a 6. I feel like he didn't offer Liverpool enough this game, so I feel like maybe he is due a spell out of the team to give Minamino a bit of a run in, just to make him sort of think about it. And I don't want to knock his confidence a bit, but he should be so much better.
I think
he said he missed a few good chances.
I think it is just a case of if he gets a few goals under his belt, he'll be back. But how many chances can you give him to just keep going out there and doing nothing? And again, like we said just then, Keita didn't feel involved. A lot of Keita's play, link-up play, comes down the middle, so it is with Firmino, and then Firmino was equally uninvolved. So I just feel like there was just nothing happening there in that area of the field.
Yeah, and then again, Mane actually himself got a 5. I felt like it was normally, not I feel like more often than not recently, I tend to feel of people questioning Salah having a bad game, where Mane's been more active. But this time, it was Mane was generally really not involved in pretty much anything.
He had a couple of chances as well.
I think he had. I know Salah set him up for a decent chance, which again he put like probably high and wide of the goal, I think. But yeah, it was certainly not a day for him either.
No, but big smiles from both of them, Mane and Salah. So I don't know. At least the spirits are high. Hopefully we get some stronger link-ups going forwards for the rest of the season, and if we can get them both on form at the same time, then it's happy days, isn't it?
Hopefully it's tacky days.
Yeah, dude, I hope so. I really want to see more of Minamino. Yeah, that one thing I want to say, just overall about it, was like, for me, Minamino has been an absolute standout in pre-season, and he, like, if I was him sitting on that bench yesterday, I'd have been fuming, to be honest. Like, I feel like there was certainly a point there at 3-3 where we needed to change something around going forwards to try and get a goal, and I would have brought him on at that point for Firmino. And I don't understand why not. Like, Firmino obviously isn't performing at the level we want him to be, and Taki, from everything we've seen, has been amazing, is on form, is looking like the player that we wanted to buy when we bought him, and it's just like, give him a chance. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't do anything if you don't play him.
I don't know. It's I feel like his time will come. I feel like he has to be given chances after the way he's performed in pre-season.
Yeah. And you also
brought him in.
You don't want to take him out of pre-season now. Sit him on the bench and he loses that form, and then we start playing him again, and he's got to try and build it back up, and everyone's going, I'm not sure about this Minamino guy. Like, play him now while he's in form, while Firmino's out of form. Stick him on a bench, get Taki out there and see what he can do.
Absolutely. Well, in that case, we'll come to so next Sunday, huge game,
massive
Chelsea
game.
Away. Chelsea have been strengthening. They have looked really good. They play, at time of recording, they play tomorrow night. They play Monday night. They've got Brighton away. So, I'm sure Klopp and the Liverpool team will be keeping an eye on what happens there and how Chelsea perform. But I'm expecting Chelsea to be an absolute force this season. I'm fully expecting them to be in amongst the pack. I'd probably expect Chelsea to finish top 3. I feel like Chelsea may be in with a title shout. I feel like they're going to be a good team this year.
We've got a really tough opening to the season. Like, I don't remember the whole Pep quote of the season's decided in 8 games, but our first 8 games are tough this season. One of them is actually City away as well, and obviously we've got Chelsea next week, and
we've got Arsenal.
I don't know how you feel about this lack of fans, but I think it affects Liverpool hugely. So I don't know. I am a bit worried about this season, because again, we don't know how long that's going to go on for. We don't even know if fans are going to come back at all this season. The way things are going,
absolutely. I feel like there's of course I'm biased, but I do feel like Liverpool's home support is amongst the best in the league. And I feel like that's a huge factor, and it's also a huge factor of how Klopp's mentality is set out. And I know he's one of the managers where he fully embodies the power of the crowd. He gets the crowd going. He loves hearing the crowd. He loves seeing them chanting and singing songs. He loves to see them react. And I know he's definitely the person to when Liverpool are a bit down, they're not playing the best. If they need a reaction, Klopp will be the first person out there rallying the crowd.
Well, I don't think this game would have gone the way it did had we had the home crowd there, because that early mistake from Trent, the crowd would have got right behind him. Do you know what I mean? Right behind Alisson as well, built them up. I think it absolutely changes the dynamic of the game, and it's been a huge. You just have to look at the Barcelona game to see how much of an influence they can have on the team, and yeah, I just think we're gonna miss it big time, and I just would love to get crowds back in as soon as possible, especially with these games we've got coming up.
Yeah, they're gonna need them. It's gonna be a very tough run to have without a crowd, and I really hope Liverpool come out of it looking reasonable, because mean, I know they had an incredible season last season, but if Liverpool make it out of this run of 8 games unbeaten, I will be astonished.
So, I mean, I
But
don't necessarily agree with the season's 1 in 8 games thing, but it definitely rings true a little bit.
Yeah.
Like if you have a poor run of form towards the start of the season, it sets you up, don't it, for like the rest of the season. It gets in your head, which we've seen how it can get in your head with City this year.
You want to be in amongst the pack.
Yeah.
You don't want to be chasing the tail of someone all season. Because it's always like, you wouldn't want it to be, even if you win your game, to just see them just win their game and go and nothing gained forevermore. Like, I guess it can be difficult to trying to be sat there trying to win your game in the hope that someone ahead of you might slip up, and to just see them win game after game, and then you just sat there going, no matter what I do, I can't catch this team. So it's hard. But then, what are your thoughts on the Chelsea game next week? What should we do? Predicted team?
Yeah. So it's obviously going to be Alisson to start. In terms of the back four, I'm going to say obviously Trent and Robbo, Van Dijk, and I'm going to say that Matip gets a start. I don't know necessarily that he will, but I do think that having a little bit of competition boosts Gomez up. Obviously, he didn't have the best game there against Leeds. Matip seemed to perform fairly well when he came on. I know he wasn't on very long, but yeah, I'm going to say Matip to start. Just to hopefully boss that defence and turn things around a little bit. Also, obviously, Chelsea will have been watching that game and they'll know that we've made some defensive mistakes there. So even if it's just mind games with them to be like, we sorted it out. I don't know. But yeah, I'm going with Matip in the back four. Midfield, I'm going to say Fabinho's coming in, definitely. Because again, we need to strengthen that defence. Yeah. Hendo. And then I'll say Wijnaldum, which is generally like, that's our strongest midfield, I would say. And I think it'll be the usual front three. I'd love to see Taki get a start, but with it being Chelsea in such a huge game, he's probably just going to play it safe and go usual front three. But I would like to see Taki come on at some point during the game.
Absolutely. I will say, you know what, I will go the same team as you, but I will put Gomez in midfield. Even not midfield, Christ, in defence. I'll go Gomez in defence. as much as I'd probably rather see Matip in defence alongside Van Dijk, I feel like he'll stick with Gomez, and otherwise, yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll be that midfield three. At least that's what I think. Your predicted score for this is where we get into dangerous territory.
Yeah, I really don't.
Horribly nervous territory.
Like, I mean, I'm not expecting a clean sheet, I'll be honest.
It really depends what Liverpool can turn up.
This is optimistic, but I'm gonna say 3-2 Liverpool.
Okay.
I feel like there's a very, very strong chance of a draw coming out of it, but I'm gonna be optimistic and say 3-2. I'm gonna say Salah, Mane, Salah, 3-2.
Okay. Salah. Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's I feel like there's an equally strong chance of defeat, to be honest with you, depending on what happens. I'm terrified of this game. Absolutely terrified. Chelsea have been very, very good, and I feel like this genuinely will be one of Liverpool's hardest games this season. Yeah,
they're going to be a force this year. Like, looking at the signs they've made and everything, this is a. I mean, they're title contenders essentially.
I'm gonna say 2-2. Salah at the double.
I'll be honest, that I feel like it's, how many people are gonna knock at my door today? I feel like it's also gonna be 2-2, but I'm being optimistic with the 3-2.
Yeah, that's okay. Right. So, is there anything you want to say before we round it?
Yeah, stick Taki on and give him some time. Get him a goal.
I agree. I feel like if things aren't going well next game, I want to see an early decision made, not to bloody bring on flipping like Jones. I don't even know. Has Brewster gone out on loan?
No, I don't think it's happened with him yet, has it?
I feel like,
but
I don't think there's been a decision made. But
I think
if he's on the bench,
last thing we said about him was that we're open to offers, like to sell, not even just loan. So,
so then it's a case of if things aren't going well, Jurgen, maybe Bobby off for Taki early on, give him enough time to affect the game, please, and we'll see how we go.
And I'll say this as well: if Bobby does not have a good game at Chelsea, then start Taki for the next game, because we can't just keep giving him chances.
To be fair, I mean, the next game's Arsenal, and Taki got his goal against Arsenal, so absolutely put Taki on for Arsenal. Because he knows, I mean, if he's going to have confidence, he's going to have confidence against Arsenal, I feel.
So, so I feel like that's it. Yeah.
So
we'll see you next week.
See you back here, next week.
The only other thing to mention is we are slightly changing the format a little bit. We're going to make this weekly now, so obviously once Champions League kicks in and there's 2 games a week, rather than speak on each game individually, it's going to be a weekly thing, so we will discuss both games. But yeah, from now on going forwards, weekly episodes. So we will see you next week to discuss the Chelsea game.
Because we'll have a couple of games starting at some point.
Yeah.
But we'll see you next week, where we'll be discussing what's happened in the Chelsea game. So fingers crossed for that. It is goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from Craig. Matt done it.